You wake up surrounded by the filth you call a room after having hit the snooze button for the 10th time. You stumble to the bathroom and your heart sinks to your stomach as you realize that you slept through the entire morning. Not because you were tired, but because you were up until 4 a.m. grinding through the game, staring at pixels on your monitor whilst frantically tapping buttons on your controller trying to level up. And unfortunately, this may not even be your first time in this scenario, but rather the 10th, the 20th. You may even be thinking to yourself, it's my 100th time here. Bro, chill, I'm not even addicted, bro. I can stop whenever I want. I can be as productive as I want to be tomorrow, bro. I'm not addicted. You tell yourself, I'll be the most productive I've ever been. And as a matter of fact, I quit video games. But before I do, let me just play one more game. And I know you've heard it with addictions before, but one game turns into two, then three, and the next thing you know, damn, it's already evening. I should probably stop. Okay, enough. I'm done with games. You then unplug your console from the monitor and store it in your desk. And it's only been an hour off games. But life just feels too boring. Everything looks black and white in comparison to your game. You keep convincing yourself that you don't actually feel like playing it. But then you get a notification that changes everything. Oh my goodness. Assassin's Creed Shadow just dropped. I have to play it, bro. Chill. So not even 2 hours after quitting, you somehow find yourself right back on the game, having just spent $90. But bro, chill. It's not even that serious. I've been playing for hours and it's late, so I'll just start tomorrow, bro. I promise. And again, you find yourself back on the game till 4 a.m. and the cycle continues, and the only way out is through breaking it. But is that even possible? And if so, how do I do it? Video games mean a lot to me, and I can only assume since you clicked on this video that they also mean something to you as well. Now, I can still remember when my dad walked into the door when I was 10 or 11 years old with a brand new console, my first personal console. Matter of fact, it's right here. Now, I'm pretty sure it's broken and I lost both controllers, but nevertheless, I had a great time on it. And the first game I ever got, let me tell you about it, was Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Beautiful game, by the way. I can still remember getting lost in the world of Hyrule for hours. I was trapped in that world forever and I was addicted. Slaying monsters, getting weapons, exploring new villages, and just getting stronger overall. I was having the time of my life. And you know what? It got to the point where showers, eating, sleeping, all became things of the past. And bro, don't even start talking about grass, because that didn't even exist to me. But all of this changed when I got in trouble for something one day. And as a result, my dad ended up taking away my console. Now, to me, this was the worst thing imaginable. I couldn't play my game. I couldn't go back to Hyrule. And now I was stuck in the real world. I'd spent so much time in that fictional world that the world I live in now felt dull. And although he only took it for a day, it literally felt like a week. The reality of having to spend time in the real world made me look at everything around me in black and white. And whilst I still loved playing outside and doing other things, I could never wait to get back home, turn on my Switch, and get back to saving Hyrule. And over the years, this addiction has stuck with me. Though not nearly as bad, it's still quite distracting. But what always stayed with me was that to this day, my favorite game genre is open world RPG. And it's for one simple reason that you might likely relate to: the escape. It allows you to fully dive into a new world far from this one and do what I wanted, as well as go where I wanted without permission. It's such a freeing and exciting concept that when you're stripped away from the utopia, you can't help but see your real life as dull in comparison. But unfortunately to some nowadays, the concept of gaming can seem more fun than actually playing the game. To some, it may feel like, you get on the game and after only an hour of playing, you feel like getting off because, bro, it's just boring. But the issue is, you literally can't. You're glued to the screen and cannot leave no matter how hard you try. The truth is, I don't get the same joy I used to get from playing the game, but somehow, even when I try leaving, it still has me tight in its grasp. It proved that games didn't even have to be good to keep you glued. They just needed to continuously bait you with what I like to call fake progress. Now, what is it? Simple. Maybe even the most common in the gaming community. Just think of XP and leveling up. those are both forms of fake progress. The type of progress that's only undergone in a game but changes nothing about your real life. Video games psych you out of getting better in the real world as they trick your brain into confusing it for the real thing that you probably lack. Kind of like in a simulation. Quick disclaimer, I still play video games. Now, this video is not a how to stop them completely, but rather a how to play them significantly less so you have more time to do other things. Let that be work, physical activities, or just things you haven't had time to catch up on. Now back to the video. Not only did video games trick me into confusing real progress from online progress, it did something way worse. It stole from me. Yo, idiot. What do you mean by video games stole from you? You don't remember? Yo, what's up with this guy? Bro, get up. Yo, there's no way you're already on the game. What? Yo. Oh, what's good, bro? Nah, I'll be off the game in like 10 minutes, bro. Don't worry about it.
10 hours later.
9:40 p.m. Nah, bro, I'm gonna quit tomorrow, bro. Bro, tomorrow's gonna be productive. I might as well get back on the game. Yeah, so to put it simply, they rob you of your time. Pretty obvious, no? But we often ignore it. Oftentimes, we overlook just how valuable time truly is, and we fail to understand the concept that time is the most valuable currency because once it is spent, it cannot be re-earned or gained. It is lost and never to be seen again. Now, I want you to take diamonds, for example. Most people regard them to be the most expensive mineral, as 1 gram of 5-carat diamond can be valued at around $35,000. But guess what? It doesn't even compare to the true rarest mineral called californium, because 1 single gram of this shit is valued at $27 million, which is absolutely insane. But when you compare how much of this is brought in yearly in comparison, the reason for its pricing difference immediately becomes evident. Whilst 20 to 28 tons or around 52,000 pounds of diamonds are mined yearly, under a gram of californium is produced due to how long it takes to make. And yes, it is synthetically made. Now, even if you change the metrics to food items, materials, and animals, one thing remains the exact same, and that is, as the item's rarity is increased, the more we value it. Now just think of it. Time is the rarest thing to come by because once it is lost, it can never be regained. No matter how much money is spent, no matter how hard you work, there is nothing you can do to get lost time back, which makes it the most valuable currency. Don't you agree? Okay, so we've just covered the negative effects of video games in terms of time perception as well as progression. But how can we fight these? After some time, I came up with my own solutions that helped me fight the problem. And guess what? I didn't actually fight it. As you can see, my Xbox is literally on the exact same table as my monitor is, which I use to do my work. Now, I don't think I need to tell you how this could go wrong. Since my Xbox was right next to me, every time I tried doing work, I would get distracted. And now instead of working, I was thinking about the next time I could play Assassin's Creed Origin. So now I had identified my problem, being that the Xbox was too close to me. And so what did I do? I locked it in my parents' room, and for the next 3 days, I literally felt unstoppable. I kid you not. More work was getting done, I felt less distracted, and I wasn't thinking about the game all that much. All was going well, but here's where I messed up. My method was completely unsustainable. Instead of playing less Xbox over time, I completely removed it from my routine, and as you could guess, I went right back to my parents' room to take the Xbox and played it for the whole night. Mission failed, and I honestly felt like continuously trying new methods was completely pointless, as the one I saw as most effective completely failed me. I started spiraling out of control with my addiction, and I wasn't eating as much, sleeping enough, or getting as much work done. My day consisted of waking up, going to school, playing Xbox, and I knew something had to change. Because it's at this age where good habits and a routine are crucial to success. Now I remembered, months prior, I was big on scheduling, which is when I realized just how much work I used to get done as a result of properly managing my time. You're probably thinking this is where it ends. Bro, just schedule and you're chilling. And yeah, that's exactly how I went about it, which is why I failed again. But it's okay, because this issue can easily be fixed by realizing the pattern within all my failures. In case you didn't get it, It's the fact that I kept rushing. And I understand. We all want to get results quickly, as we live in a day and age that just doesn't sustain patience. Just think of it. If you want entertainment, you grab your phone, open TikTok, where you're bombarded with many different forms of media. Skits, education, fitness, hacks, fun facts. The point is, we want things now, but there are certain things that just shouldn't be rushed, like creating new habits. If you hate reading and you want to start doing it more frequently, I bet you wouldn't get the longest and most mature book. That's just stupid. You'd get bored. You'd obviously find a smaller one, a more story-oriented book, and read it slowly and gravitate towards more mature books. All right, so here's what you could try that helped me overcome my addiction, because clearly, out of sight, out of mind, and just not thinking about it doesn't even work, at least not for me. So for this method, we're going to be using AI. My preferred is ChatGPT. So pull out your laptop, pull out your phone, whatever it is, and type up or ask AI to make you 2 separate schedules, one for the weekend and one for the weekdays. And for each of these schedules, make sure you include everything you need to get done for those specific schedules. Say on the weekday you have whatever you need to go to school, you need to do chores, you have a job, and you have a bunch of other things you want to do. Yeah, you need to factor that into the schedule or into the AI so that it can build your schedule in accordance to what you need to get done. And honestly, I find this method so much better than just writing it out on paper, because if, let's say, you have a random plan that pops up, a random event, you're going to have to restart the whole schedule just so that you can factor in that event. But with AI, you just tell it, change of plans, I have this, and it remakes the whole schedule for you with no time wasted at all. All right, I gotta be honest with you, this alone is not gonna solve your problem, because it only accounts for one of the 2 problems, being the organization bit. Now, how do we make sure that, you don't rush the process and end up relapsing? It's super simple. Factor in video games into your schedule. Yes, add video games into your schedule. And at first, I get it. It sounds crazy. Why would I add the very thing I'm addicted to into my schedule if my whole goal here is to get rid of it? Think of it. By completely removing the thing you're addicted to, you don't give your mind the time to adapt, meaning you're going to suffer from withdrawal. You're going to be craving video games, essentially. So for the first week, we could start with something like an hour, 30 minutes of video games a day. And every single week, I want you to remove 10 to 15 minutes from that. So this week you start with an hour 30 of video games. Next week, it's going to be an hour 15. And you can keep adjusting it, because you just need to tell ChatGPT that this week I want my schedule to be like this instead of that, and it'll make the adjustment instantly. And I'll be so honest with you, some days I just feel so locked in that I don't even feel like playing video games at all. Some days you will, some days you won't, and some days you're gonna mess up. It's just nature. Bottom line is, cutting stuff out didn't work. Replacing my addiction didn't work, and distracting myself with something else did not work for me. I'm not going to sit back here in my chair and try to convince you that it's not going to work for you, because I'm just speaking from my own experience. So take this info and do what you want with it. And finally, if you like the vid, like and sub for more.